Hello and welcome to today's video. Today it's all about food. Peru actually has one of the best cuisines worldwide. It is known for its high quality food. I'm excited to show you a lot of typical things here from Peru in today's video. Obviously, I am on the coast of Peru and this is the best place to try some seafood, right? One of the most typical things that you can find in Peru is the ceviche. Okay, I just finished the ceviche. It is delicious, but it's also quite spicy. I am not used at all to spicy food and I can feel it a little bit, but it was really good. They have a spice in it that is called ají. That is specifically here from Peru. Actually, it doesn't grow anywhere else, so they put it in a lot of food and that is what makes the food a bit spicy. But really good and highly recommended if you come to Peru. You cannot leave the country without eating a ceviche. Now we are going to try something else. This is sudado made with fish. And there are some vegetables in there, onions. It is being served with rice as well. And it looks like a huge portion, but it also looks very good and I'm excited to try it. It's also really good. It tastes, I actually have no idea what it tastes like. What is that sauce? I don't know. But you can taste that the fish is super fresh as well. I have no idea what is in that sauce. It is a little bit sweet, I would say. Yeah, it is a little bit sweet. It tastes a little bit like sweet potato, I think. But it's really good. I think the ceviche is more refreshing. It's perfect for summer days, seriously. That is like a stew here that is hot, obviously, but also very good. And it comes in different versions. So if you do not like fish, you can also eat it with meat, for example. The food was spectacular. I actually found out what was in the sauce of the sudado. That was ají amarillo, or yellow ají. And then there were also some vegetables in there like yuca and tomato. A very good combination, but clearly the ceviche for me was the best. But for now it is time to go to Lima, because Lima is actually the capital of food of Peru. So I guess there's no better place to try Peruvian food than in Lima. And here we are in Lima, in the city center. And this is the capital of food of Peru. I've told you that before, and that is why I'm going to do a huge food tour here through the city of Lima. And I am very excited to try a lot of different flavors. Actually, the cuisine of Peru is a mixture of various cultures. That is because there used to be a lot of immigrants here. For example, during the Spanish conquest, there were lots of African slaves that have been brought to the country and that also introduced their foods here to Peru. And then later on, there have been a lot of immigrants from China and also a lot of immigrants from Japan. And all of these countries brought their own dishes, their own foods, their own flavors with them, and they mixed it with like the typical Peruvian food. And nowadays, the Peruvian food is like a fusion of a lot of different foods from various countries all over the world, which is why it is quite an interesting cuisine, and it is known as one of the best cuisines worldwide. So let's start the tour with a very typical dish that is actually a combination of various flavors, and it is the perfect symbol for the different flavors of different countries that exist here in Peru. So this is the whole plate, combinado, and we have the potato here with a sauce that is made with yellow ají. Then we have the chanfainita, which is this here. This is actually lung. I've never ate that, and it also comes with potatoes, I think, or yuca. Is it yuca? I think it's yuca. This has been brought to the country by African people. So this is like the Peruvian African fusion. And then we have mote, which is the corn here, which is quite typically. There are some noodles here. All right, I will try the potato first. As expected, it is a tiny bit spicy, but really just a little bit. It is cold, actually. I wasn't expecting this to be cold, but I like the sauce. And then we have the noodles. They clearly come with garlic, I would say. Garlic and tomato sauce or something like that. Really good. And then this is what I said. I think it's yuca, I'm not sure. Yeah, I would say it's yuca. That is the chanfainita. This is the meat that I told you before. I've never ate lung before, and it's super soft. I wasn't expecting it to be that soft, but it's really good. It like falls apart once you have it in your mouth. Positive surprise, clearly. I don't know what this is. Ah, I do know what this is. It's corn. but it's actually white. Now you can see that well because it has sauce on it, but it's white, so I didn't recognize it, but it's corn. Same with this. This is also corn, salted and roasted. And they often serve it as like a starter, and it's super good. I'm addicted to that corn actually. In general, this is a very interesting plate. Lots of combinations of flavors, and perfect if you want to try some different Peruvian flavors. And it's time to try some dessert. Actually, I just bought some churros that come with different fillings. And even though churros are originally from Spain, I think we have to give the Spanish some credit here for those. But they said they are churros limeños. I'm not sure if they will taste differently or if it's just the filling that it comes with. There are different kinds of fillings. For example, dulce de leche, which is kind of like toffee, and chocolate. Time for a dessert. There's quite a lot of chocolate in there. I like that. But in general, I would say the dough is a little bit dry, in my opinion. It's good, but I've eaten better ones, I gotta say. And it's actually time to try a drink. This is chicha morada. It's good. And it's super fruity and refreshing. It's actually a perfect drink for today. It is super hot outside, and this is like super refreshing. It tastes a little bit like blueberry maybe. Okay, I just googled the recipes and I am very surprised because this is actually made of corn. Apparently there is a corn that is purple. I've never seen that before. I didn't know it existed. But I've seen photos on Google right now, and well, that is one of the main ingredients. And then there's also apple in there. There is pineapple a little bit, and also cinnamon. So it's like a mixture of a lot of things that gives it a very specific taste, a very unique taste, I would say. And that also explains why I wasn't able to figure out what the main taste is like, because I didn't even know that a purple corn exists. Very interesting, this drink, and highly recommend it if you come here to Peru. Cheers. So there were things that I saw on the street and I just had to buy them because they reminded me of something that I've seen in Venezuela. These two things were sold by Peruvian people, so it's not Venezuelan. I was like, it looks the same, but is it really? So I decided to get it and to try it out. I have one thing that is called a tamal. That one is being made with flour of corn. It looks exactly like a hallaca, which is some Venezuelan food that they eat for Christmas most of the time. In Venezuela, they are filled with meat and with some vegetables. I love them, they are absolutely delicious. So I was surprised to see that here, but they call it a tamal. And now that I'm seeing it, it also looks different because I don't think it has a filling. It doesn't seem like it. But anyway, let's try it. Okay, so it clearly doesn't have the filling. It's not bad. But let's say the point goes to Venezuela, clearly. It is a bit, I don't know, I would say it's a bit boring maybe. It doesn't, well, it's not what I expected. I mean, it's just a dough with flour of corn, and there are other things in it, that's for sure. I'm not sure exactly what they put in there. But from what I've eaten today, I mean, there were a lot of things with lots of spices, lots of flavor. And now this seems to be a little bit boring compared to all the other things that I have eaten before. And also a little bit boring compared to the hallaca from Venezuela, which comes with a filling that is so good. But anyway, this is a very interesting taste. Something that I would say in Europe, we don't have anything comparable to this. So it is a very interesting taste and clearly something that you can give a try. It's not bad. It's just not my favorite. I am about to try something that, in my opinion, is very typical for Peru. It is called Luma Saito, and this is actually the first Peruvian dish that I've ever tried in my life, and I tried it in Spain, so I'm very excited to try this original version because it looks so delicious, and I loved it in Spain. And it just came, and oh my god, you guys have no idea what it smells like. This is so good. It comes with rice. And then there is steak and tomato and onions, and in my case I ordered the version lomo saltado a la pobre, which is something like the poor lomo saltado. I have no idea why they call it like that, but it also comes with plantain and also with an egg on top of the rice. So it looks really good, and let's try steak. This is so good. I cannot believe how delicious this is. It is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best dishes I've ever eaten. Seriously, the combination of like the sauce, the spices, the meat is perfect. And well, this is a very, very good version. There's also potato, fried potato that comes with it. And I think this is going to be my all-time favorite here in Peru. I ate absolutely everything. This was so delicious, seriously. I am going to pay 56 soles for the food and juice. That, by the way, was also very, very good. It was a fresh juice of mango, pineapple and passion fruit, and very delicious. So I'm going to pay 56 soles for all of this. That's more or less 14 euros, and that is actually very expensive for Peru. You can get the same food way cheaper, but I've heard that the lower the price, the less quality has the meat. And since this is one of my favorite foods ever, I decided to Google a little bit and find like a very good restaurant for the Luma Saito, and I found this one. And in general, like for me, 14 euros is okay. I mean, it's a more or less European price. I would say in Europe you would actually still pay a little bit more. So for me as a European, that is a very good price. But for Peru in general, this is very expensive. I think you can probably get it for half of the price as well, just so you know. But anyway, I definitely recommend this place. Alright, I think I do deserve my dessert. And this is a Kito Peruano. It looks a little bit like a croissant, and it is filled with a lot of dulce de leche, which is kind of like toffee. And it feels way harder than a croissant. It is not as soft, but it looks delicious. I paid 4 soles 50 for this. That is more or less €1.20. And well, let's give it a try. The dough reminds me a lot of a croissant, that's for sure. I'm changing my mind. Actually, we have something in Germany that is called Apfelstrudel. It has dough that is super similar to this one. And inside there are like pieces of apple. And I love that, actually. And the dough here reminds me a lot about that. It tastes super similar, but instead of apple, there's like dulce de leche in there. And it's a really good combination. The Kito Peruano is highly recommended. Alright, I am in Miraflores, and it is time to try something that has been recommended to me quite a few times already. And this is ají de gallina. It is actually chicken with a sauce that is made with yellow ají. I already mentioned to you that it's a spice that is here from Peru. It is kind of like a chili and usually quite spicy, but the yellow version is not that spicy actually. And then it is being prepared with some rice, and it looks really good. There's an egg on it as well. So let's give it a try. Oh, I really like the sauce. I think I'm really becoming a fan of ají. I've had several things with it so far, and all of them were really good. It's a very interesting taste. It is a tiny bit spicy, but really only just a little bit, because I cannot eat spicy at all, so just a little bit of spicy food is already like a lot for me. There's also potato in there, actually. And I don't know if I told you that, but in Peru I've heard that they have more than 300 different kinds of potato. Actually, someone in the Andes Mountains told me that there where they actually produce the potatoes, they have even more. They have more than 1,000 different kinds of potatoes in those areas. Potatoes that are just being produced for themselves or for like local people, and they don't end up in the supermarkets. But in general, there are more than 300 different kinds of potatoes that are being sold to anybody here in Peru. The food was very delicious. I liked it a lot, and I paid 59 soles, which is a little bit less than 15 euros. Again, that was for a meal plus a fresh juice of peach. And again, this is rather expensive for Peru. You can have the same food for less money, that's for sure, but as I mentioned before, I am here in Miraflores, which is a rather expensive district and also a very touristic district, so you pay different prices here than in other areas of Lima. Alright, I definitely ate quite a lot for that little time that I had here in Lima. I enjoyed a lot of foods. I am definitely a huge fan of ají now. And well, I don't think we have that in Europe, which is actually a shame because it makes it really good and very different than other things that I've tried before. Anyway, Peru is clearly a very good destination to try lots of food. They have a huge variety on food. What I have showed you here is just a tiny little bit of the dishes they have. They have dishes all over the country. Like in the Andes Mountains, for example, you will find dishes made with meat of alpaca, for example, which is very typical there in the area and also clearly recommended. I tried it there actually, and it's first of all very good meat, and second of all, in those altitudes of the Andes, that is in between 3,000 and 5,000 meters, it is actually recommended to eat rather light food and food that is easily digestible. If you would eat, for example, beef there, a lot of beef, you would probably get some colics and like a bad stomach because the digestion in those altitudes is slower and well, it will be harder to digest than, for example, meat of alpaca. Anyway, I recommend you wherever you are here in Peru, ask locals about their local dishes and try as much as possible. That is so much fun in that country, and well, there will always be something you haven't tried yet. Now I hope you enjoyed this little tour through Lima, and I hope you are ready to join me for my next tour, because next week I'm going to actually show you the city of Lima, which is, by the way, a very beautiful city and definitely worth a visit as well. So make sure to subscribe to my channel, and I will hopefully see you in the next one.